Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to learn about Kennedy's classification. This classification was proposed by Dr. Edward Kennedy in the year 1923. He gave 4 different basic classifications. So here you can see that a U-shaped structure which I have drawn for you, it represents an area which consists of the remaining natural teeth, whereas the lines represents the edentulous space or the area, right? So in class 1, there are 2 edentulous areas or spaces present on either side of the midline. That means there is no teeth present posterior to it. All the natural teeth is present anterior to the edentulous spaces. Here is the second one. Here you can see that a single edentulous space is present either on right side or left side of the midline. All the natural teeth is present only anterior to it. Okay? Most of the times it is very well known as a unilateral distal extension. So in this class 3 classification, we can see that there is only a single edentulous area which is present either on right side or left side of the midline, and the remaining natural teeth is present both anterior and posterior to this edentulous area. It is also known as the tooth-bone edentulous space, which means that the denture will gain support from the natural teeth which are present both anterior and posterior to it. So this is our class 4 classification. Here you can see that the edentulous space is now crossing the midline and the remaining natural teeth are present posterior to this edentulous space. It's also called as the anterior extension and it has no modifications. Applegates has given 8 rules in order to provide guidance for the Kennedy's classification. So here comes the rule number 1, that is the classification should always follow the entire extractions, otherwise it might alter the original classification. Okay, so these 2 diagrams I have drawn for you to make you understand. This oval-shaped structure which I have drawn represents the edentulous space, whereas this represents the remaining natural teeth which is present. So according to this, as we have already learned, it's class 2 Kennedy's classification. But if we want to extract the posterior teeth which is present on right side of the arch, so the classification should always be done only after the planned extraction. So when we extract the posteriors of the right side of the arch, automatically it will become the class 1 type of Kennedy's classification. The second rule is that if third molar is missing and if the patient is not willing to replace it, then it is not considered in the classification. The third rule is if the third molar is present and if it is to be used as an abutment, then it has to be considered in the classification. The fourth rule is if the second molar is missing and the patient is not willing to replace it, then it is not considered in the classification. As we have already learned that a unilateral edentulous area represents a class 2 type of Kennedy's classification. But if we are extracting the second molar, if the second molar is missing on the right side of the arch and if the patient doesn't want to replace it, the classification still remains the same, that is a class 2 classification. Because as we have learned that a bilateral edentulous area represents the class 1 classification, but if the second molar is missing and if the patient is not willing to replace it, we won't include this area in our classification. That means the classification remains the same, that is a class 2 type of classification. The fifth rule is the most posterior edentulous area or areas will always determine the classification. That means the posterior most edentulous space will be the main classification. So as we have learned in Candidate's classification, that is a unilateral edentulous space is class 2 classification. Edentulous space which crosses the midline is a class 4. But what if the patient comes with this type of condition? Okay. So according to this rule, the posterior most edentulous space, whether it is present in right side or left side of the arch, will become the main classification. The rest will become its modifications. Right? So this is class 2 classification and modification 1. Fine. So what if, wait a second. So what if there are two edentulous spaces present on either side and the edentulous space crossing the midline? So this will become the class 1 classification, modification 1. Fine. Now what is modification? I will explain you later. The sixth one is edentulous areas other than those which determine the classification are always referred to as the modifications or the modification spaces and are designated by their numbers. Okay, so as if we have learned previously that the posterior most edentulous space determines the main classification, right? So here there is only one posterior most edentulous space, so it will become a class 2 type of classification. So according to this rule, the edentulous space which is present other than the main, that is posterior edentulous space, will become its modifications. So here in this case there is one edentulous space which is present extra and which is present anteriorly. Okay, it's present anteriorly, so it's called as class 2 modification 1. In this situation there are two posterior edentulous space, so it is class 1 classification, and there are two edentulous space which are present anterior to it. There are two numbers, so modification 2. That means class 1 modification 2. There is one edentulous space, one modification. If there is three edentulous spaces extra present anteriorly, so it will become modification 3. So I hope it's very clear to you. Rule number 7 is the number of teeth which are missing in the modification spaces are not considered. Only the number of the additional edentulous spaces are considered. Okay, so this is class 2 modification 1. Okay, now here I have extracted a canine, a premolar. I have extracted 2 teeth. Okay, but I am not counting the number of teeth which I have extracted in the additional edentulous spaces. I am just counting the number of edentulous space. That means even though I have extracted 2 teeth, but there is only one edentulous space which is present, right? So it will become a class 2 modification 1 only. But okay, if in this situation I am creating additional edentulous space, okay, that means I have extracted a canine and a premolar here also. So what I have done is I have extracted 4 teeth, but there are only 2 number of edentulous space which is present. So now it will become a class 2 modification 2. So I hope it's very clear to you. Rule number 8. There can be no modifications for class 4 Kennedy's classification because any additional edentulous space will definitely be posterior to it and it will determine the classification. Okay, so as we have learned that the posterior most edentulous area will become the main classification and the additional edentulous areas which are present anteriorly are the modification areas. Okay, so here it is class 2 and modification 1, right? But here in class 4 situation, the main class 4 condition is itself present anteriorly to the arch. So obviously it won't have any modifications. Applegate's modified the Kennedy's classification based on the condition of the abutment, which was proposed in the year 1960 in the name of Applegate's modification. According to Kennedy's classification, this type of situation is called as class 3. Right, as there is a single edentulous space and remaining teeth are present both anterior and posterior to it. But if we are planning to construct a denture and if the teeth which is present anterior to this edentulous space cannot be selected as an abutment tooth, so such situations is categorized as a class 5 type of classification. According to Kennedy's classification, it is a class 3 type, but if the abutment teeth are strong enough to provide the support for the prosthesis, that means the prosthesis will hardly require any support from the tissues. So such type of situation is categorized under class 6. So thank you my dear friends for watching today's video. I hope that you must have understood everything about the Kennedy's classification, the Applegate's rule and its modifications. If you have enjoyed today's video, please do not forget to like and share my videos and also give your valuable feedbacks. So I will be coming with more such amazing videos. Till then, take care. Bye.